Netanyahu right now, as we speak, he is sweating. He is sweating. Israel right now is in panic. Trust me, this is probably going to be the worst news for Israel, even though you might think that Israel is celebrating the fact that UK, France, Germany, they have reimposed sanctions on Iran. But this is not the best news for Israel. What is happening right now behind closed doors, we do not know, but I'm pretty sure that Netanyahu is holding emergency meeting. He's holding meetings with also his best buddy in Washington, Donald Trump, and they are holding meetings with his ministers from the cabinet, because this news is shocking. I will describe and break it down everything for you in this video, but before I move on, just to remind you, if you're not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Let's go one by one. This is again, as I said, this is the news coming in the last few hours, where it basically is suggesting that Iran is going to be driving the nuclear reactor. What does it basically mean? And that will happen within the next 24 hours, because the report that I got was more than 24 hours now. So they said in 48 hours actually. So right now we only have 24 hours. If this report is true, that Iran will be building a nuclear bomb very, very soon. So driving a nuclear reactor is a panic button for Israel that they pressed on, and asking for United States help, because even though Masoud Pezeshkian, the Iranian president, he said Iran will never seek any nuclear weapon, but that is just not true. They will. And Ali Khamenei, his rhetoric, the supreme leader, is very, very clear that Iran will not bow down to submission. This is why Israel right now is on high alert, because they do not know what to make out of the situation. There are three things that the Western powers they have done to Iran in the last few hours. Number one, they put arms embargo on Iran. Iran cannot export by purchasing those arms, weaponries from China, Russia. Stop, full stop. They will not be able to do that according to this or under this sanction. Number two, they have banned Iran from enriching any more uranium, even though Iran plans to enrich uranium for peaceful purposes for domestic use. But this sanction from Germany, France, and UK dictates that Iran will not ever be able to enrich uranium. And the third thing they have banned Iran from doing is their missile program. And we know why, because we have seen the 12-day war on June 13th, that these missiles, especially the Khorramsher and Imad missiles, they wreaked havoc on Israel. Therefore, it is only going to be logical that the Western power will not feel comfortable with that kind of missile power in their arsenal and impose sanction on Iran. So these are the three things that they have imposed on Iran. Let's take a listen at this report.
Iran has dismissed sanctions over its nuclear program as unlawful after the United Nations reimposed them for the first time in a decade. Tehran has recalled its ambassadors to Britain, France and Germany in response. The sanctions include an arms embargo, a ban on uranium enrichment and other measures. Iranians say they're already feeling the pinch.
Okay, so I do need to address what else was banned, or what is the other sanctions that will affect Iran, and that will be, as I said, in addition to arms embargo, banning on uranium enrichment, they also have imposed sanction on global asset that Iran has. These assets will be frozen. Then they have also sanctioned on individuals, Iranian individuals, from traveling to certain countries. Now, Israeli officials told Ynet the sanctions may fuel Iran retaliation. So this is why Israel right now is panicking and is on high alert. They warned Tehran still has enough nuclear material to build a bomb within a year, despite earlier Israeli and U.S. strikes that damaged Iran's nuclear sites. One senior official reportedly cautioned Khamenei could decide tomorrow to race for the bomb at any cost. Quote unquote. Officials fear Iran's leadership, weakened by sanctions, could miscalculate and escalate tensions. So one hand you have this illegal sanctions being imposed on Iran. On the other hand, you have Western powers panicking what the response will be from Iran. Of course, Iran, as Masoud Pezeshkian said, they do not want a nuclear bomb. They want just their sanctions to be lifted. They want to breathe, really.
International sanctions have been reimposed on Iran for the first time in a decade. Iranians are already feeling the effect as gold prices and exchange rates increase. The sanctions were originally lifted under the 2015 nuclear deal. But France, Germany and the UK accused Iran of violating its nuclear obligations and launched a so-called snapback process to have UN sanctions.
This is absolutely ridiculous what they're doing. The agreement they had with the United States and other European countries back in the 2015 under JCPOA was actually torn apart by Donald Trump. So they canceled the agreement, and they're the one to sanction Iran. Iran didn't do anything. They're going like, man, come on, what are you doing? Like, we're doing nothing. What are you doing to us?
At least 40 Palestinians have been killed across Gaza on Sunday, with Hamas's armed wing now saying it's lost contact with the 2 Israeli captives due to the heavy bombardment of Gaza City. Qassam Brigade says they no longer are able to reach captives Omri Miran and Matan Ingast. Gaza's largest urban center has been under fierce attack from the air.
So what is Israel doing? Of course, they do not want the hostages back, the prisoner of war. They never want them back, because if they did, they would have done it by now. They have absolutely zero intention to do so. Hamas, on the other hand, they are letting these hostages to really live their life, go and face the bombardment and taste how we live our everyday life. And these two, I'm pretty sure, who lost contact with Hamas, I'm sure there will be many more, if not all of them, will get killed, because the way Israel is bombarding this really small city, Gaza is not huge. It is going to be impossible. It is only going to be a miracle, really, for anybody to be alive from those hostages. Hamas, on the other hand, they're putting up resistance, and they're coming up with new tactics, even though Israel is trying to gain some of the land from Hamas fighters, but so far, for the most part, they are not able to do that whatsoever. And so this is only going to drag on, and Hamas made their intention very clear, as their leader said. I believe it was Izzuddin. He said basically that this war is going to be a long war, and if that is the case, then you can imagine more casualties, more death from IDF terrorist forces, and more human suffering. And the genocide is only going to continue on with this oppression. I'll give you more updates on Iran, Hamas, Middle East. If you're not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. See you in the next video.